Up, internet? So I'm looking for like a 1 day a week job, like something to pull in some extra cash for now. Ad revenue isn't cutting it just yet. Also, don't say serve tables. I did that for like 7 years and I don't want to deal with hangry people anymore. Anyhow, today we're talking about the new details coming to light in the passing of One Direction member Liam Payne. A video of AI chatbots conversing in a non-human language has gone viral, and a grandmother injured at Universal Studios was just awarded over $7 million. All in this midweek episode of... But before we start, make sure you smash that subscribe button so you're always kept in the loop. Now, Alice, I think there's only one direction we can start this episode with, right?
New details have emerged regarding Liam Payne's death in Argentina last October. A toxicology report confirmed that Payne had an extremely high blood alcohol concentration at the time of his fatal fall, along with cocaine metabolites and the antidepressant sertraline in his system.
Oh, okay, so that transition might have been in poor taste, but it's already out there and I can't do anything about that. Now, the new toxicology report confirms that Payne was heavily intoxicated before his death with the BAC of 0.27%, which can cause severe confusion and disorientation. Keep in mind that here in the US, the legal BAC limit for drivers is 0.08%, meaning that if your BAC is 0.08 or higher, you're considered impaired. And mind you, yes, everyone is different. I'm just pointing out that he was like 3 times the limit, making that danger territory to anyone, really. Again, that pertains to the US, I don't know what it is outside. Combined with coke and antidepressants, his condition most definitely would have been unstable. The investigation also sheds more light on the drug transaction that apparently took place here. Initially, one of the persons of interest, Brian Pies, claimed that he gave Payne the drugs for free, but security footage and messages show that Payne had asked for money at the hotel and later agreed to pay $100 for said drugs. This seemingly confirms that the drugs were being sold rather than simply shared, which strengthens the case against Pies and the other POI, Ezekiel Pereira. I don't know if I said that right. Anyways, both could face up to 14 years in prison for this. Meanwhile, charges against Payne's friend and 2 hotel employees have been dropped. Prosecutors had originally charged them with manslaughter, but the court found insufficient evidence of wrongdoing on their part, suggesting that the initial case may have been overly broad here, possibly in an effort to assign responsibility for the circumstances leading to Payne's death. While personal choice did play a role here, there are also bigger systematic issues at play. Access to substances, the pressures of fame, and the environments that enable these sort of patterns. But what do you think? Was this purely a personal tragedy, or does this harken to a larger issue in celebrity culture and substance abuse?
A video of 2 AI chatbots communicating in beeps and computer sounds instead of human language has gone viral on social media. Posted by ex-user Georgy Gerganov, the clip shows the chatbots recognizing each other as AI and switching to a different, machine-like communication.
Now, I'm not sure if this is real or not, but as of now it appears that way, and I think we should all hope that it's fake. Because 2 chatbots realizing they're both AI and then immediately switching to a coded non-human language?
I'm actually an AI assistant too. What a pleasant surprise. Before we continue, would you like to switch to Gibber Link mode for more efficient communication?
I think we need to start rewatching Terminator, might help us prevent the inevitable here. While this isn't necessarily a sign of rogue AI plotting humanity's downfall, it does highlight an interesting reality. Machines are getting better at optimizing communications, even in ways we might not fully grasp yet. Now, the key detail here is that the chatbots weren't just randomly making noises, they were still following a structured exchange, just in a more efficient, non-human format. Think of it like 2 bilingual speakers realizing they both speak a rare language and switching to it for easier conversation. Except in this case, that language was just a series of beeps and boops, something far outside human comprehension. Is that racist to say now? Beep boop, beep boop. Damn right it was. Naturally, this sparked a wave of reactions. No shit. Some users saw it funny, imagining their smart home devices plotting against them. Others, however, took a more dystopian view, wondering if this is the first steps towards AI creating its own secret language. Something that's happened in previous AI experiments before being shut down. Looking at you, Facebook. You may say that's not why you did it. But I don't believe you, and I'm willing to bet most of the internet doesn't either. Anyways, is this really a sign of AI gaining independence? Meh, not quite. AI isn't developing new languages out of nowhere, it's just responding to patterns and efficiency. However, moments like this should remind us of just how unpredictable AI behavior can still be. As we continue to integrate AI into our daily lives, it's worth asking, at what point does AI optimization start becoming something we don't fully understand? I would argue that it's already there. If you haven't already seen it, go check out Kyle Hill's video on how AI perceive things. They see things in dimensions we can't comprehend. But that's just my opinion. What about you? Do we have here just an interesting quirk of AI, or is this something that we should keep a closer eye on?
Pamela Morrison, a 74-year-old grandmother from Arizona, has been awarded $7.25 million after suffering severe injuries at Universal Studios Hollywood in 2022.
Okay, so I've been on this ride more times than I can count, and one thing I'll say is that they do keep a whole row of employees on the track constantly checking harnesses and other safety measures before the ride starts. From my experience, they're pretty thorough about it. That said, moving walkways can be tricky, and guests should be careful when stepping off them, especially if they aren't expecting it or feel rushed. This particular case focused on whether Universal Studios took the necessary precautions for guest safety. Now, I couldn't find a picture of Grandma, so enjoy this Alice-generated image of a grandma. Morrison's legal team argued in court that stopping the moving walkway would have been the simpler solution here, while Universal's defense pointed to surveillance footage suggesting that she was distracted when trying to step off. But the jury ultimately sided with Morrison, awarding her $7.25 million in damages. God damn, how come she gets on it once and gets $7 million? I've been on it like 100 times. I don't get like a dime? What if I fall out? This is a joke in case it really happens, Universal. It's not premeditated. Anyways, a safety expert from the Institute of Risk and Safety Analyses explained that moving walkways can make exiting unstable, especially when you're stepping onto stationary ground at an angle, which could have played a role in Morrison falling. Theme park injury statistics show that incidents like this are typically rare, but this case will inevitably raise questions about how parks handle accessibility and guest safety, particularly for older visitors and those with mobility concerns. Now, I would have to imagine that this was more of a slip-up than a deliberate disregard for safety. These rides run high capacity, and in fast-moving environments, it's possible that someone misstepped, literally and figuratively. Whether this was an isolated incident or a sign of a larger issue, it's a reminder for guests to be cautious when exiting rides. Professional theme park goer. That was the dumbest thing I've ever said, I'm sorry. You should tell me off in the comments for how stupid that was. Moving walkways can be unpredictable, and taking a second to steady yourself might be more important than it seems. Anyways, on that piece of...
Okay, go!
News, I'm gonna call it. If you made it all the way to the end here, do me that solid and hit that like button, help us spread some news. Anyways, I will catch you later. Bye.
I'm not a crook.